everybody, how are you? I hope you're having the most amazing start to your week. Today is hump day. It is January 15th, 2024, and welcome to Trend, today's real estate news drop. And we're going to get started right away. There are some things that are happening in the industry that are going to impact you as a buyer and a seller. Once again, we have more inventory. We have a even higher interest rate than we did last week. It went up by 9 basis points. I'm going to show you that on bankrate.com, and I'm going to go over the inventory for townhomes and for villas in Palm Beach County so you can see exactly what's going on. I will go over how many have come onto the market, which ones have gone under contract, and what the median price range is looking like for all of that. So let's get started by jumping into my computer and taking a quick look at the data. All right, so here we are on my MLS, and I'm going to do a quick search right here. You know, I guys always walk you through this with me. I'm going to look at Palm Beach County. And I'm looking at actives only, and now we're going to go down here and we're going to select just townhomes and villas. And remember, next week is the condominiums. I'm going to save the best for last, and there's quite a few. So currently in our market, it looks like we have 2018 townhomes and villas for sale. That's all of them. That's including anything that is a 55 plus community. That is anything that is an equity membership community as well. There are very few, but they do have them, especially in the villa sector. Wycliffe and Aberdeen, I know, are two that definitely have villas, and they're both equity membership communities. So just remember that. Let's take a quick look at what the inventory looks like on the map, and we've got them all loaded here. So as you can see, the majority of them are all on the East Coast, right here, this dividing line. So remember, this is way out into the west. Belglade, South Bay, Pahokee, all of those places way out there near Lake Okeechobee. It's a beautiful area out there, but you really have to want to live out there. And it's kind of in the outskirts and out and away from everything and everybody. Westlake is about as far west as I really want to go. Wellington is a great area. You know a lot about Wellington. I've spoken about that, and I've done several videos. In fact, this week's video for Saturday is also a community that's just south of Wellington in Lake Worth. And so it looks like we have a good amount of properties that are on the market right here for the townhome and the villas. All right, now let's take a quick peek at what happened with the numbers, and let's take a quick look at the hot sheet and see exactly what's happening here. In the last 24 hours, we have had 15 and 27 new listings come onto the market. We have had 154 sellers decide to call it quits, and they have canceled their listing agreement with their agent. We have had only 289 closings. So if you just do that simple math, then that looks, you know, we got 1,527 townhomes and villas come onto the market and only 289 close. That gives you a significant amount, about just over 5 months worth of inventory. So definitely becoming a buyer's market in this sector as well. 167 listings have expired, which means that they didn't receive their price. We have 225 pending. They're under contract. They're simply waiting for the results of the appraisal, and then they'll head to the closing table after they negotiate that. And 101 are active under contract. The difference with this is they're in their inspection period generally when they're active under contract. 59 sellers decided, hey, we're going to withdraw it. We're going to take it off of the market. We're not sure what we're going to do next. Temporary off the market, we have 71 properties. And that's generally because they found something wrong with the home. They're temporarily taking it off with the market. They are going to come back on. They are going to try to sell it once again. There's simply something that came up. There's an issue that happened. There are 37 sellers who decided to give their agent an extended amount of time to sell the property. And this happens for a couple of different reasons. Some feel that it's the market. Some just love their agent and they wouldn't think of hiring anybody else. And some just feel that it's easier to simply extend rather than cancel it and let it go and then start all over with a fresh agent, which my personal opinion is always the best choice. There are 58 properties that came back onto the market, which means they came off of the market, whether they withdrew or they went temporarily off the market. They had to fix something and then they just came back. We had 825 make a price change. Now, this is important for us to know because the market is trending downward. The market is getting longer days on market, and the market is getting less and less on price, especially in the upper price points. You're seeing them come down. Sellers are still in the mindset that it's 2021 and they can name their price, and buyers will come up and they'll pay, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over appraised value with no contingencies. And that's not the case. So an agent needs to be able to explain to their client that this is what's going on in the market, and they need to price it correctly. So the price change is a direct result of not being able to have that conversation up front and pricing it correctly right out of the bat. We have new coming soon listings, which means that there are 53 properties that are coming onto the market here within the next 30 days that fit any criteria that is here, which is just townhome or villa in Palm Beach County. And 821 did a text change, and I'm one of them because my client moved out of their unit. They moved into the condo unit that they purchased, and now their unit is vacant. So I went in, I changed all of the showing description and let the agents know that it's now vacant, and all they need to do is schedule it through the Showing Time app. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in interest rates. I did mention that they went up, and let's take a look at why. So this is for purchasing a home. And this article right here is written by Jeff Ostrowski, and right there we have it. 7.15 is the APR for a 30-year mortgage. Average 15-year APR is 6.47. So it's an increase of 9 basis points from last week. Went up from 7.08. You look here, remember all of these are adjustable rate mortgages. Right, 5-in-1 ARM, and then you have an upfront cost. So if you want to lock in this price here and that interest rate there, it's going to cost you this many points. It's going to cost you this much money, and about $13,329 for upfront costs in order to buy down that rate. So, and then remember, a 5 and 6 adjustable rate mortgage is something that you should discuss with your lender. I have a great lender to have a conversation with you if you'd be interested in having one. So let me know if you're interested in that. All right, scrolling down a little bit, take a quick look here at what's going on in the trends. Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, looking at 7.11%. It's up 9 basis points. It's never good when it's in red, right? Remember in school, we used to get our test sheets back and the teacher had written all over it in red. It's never good if it's in red. So up 9 basis points, and then the 15-year fixed is also up, and the refinance rate is up as well. So this is the refinance rate. So if you want to refinance your home and take some money out, you're looking at 7.13, and that's up 8 basis points from last week. And then your 15-year fixed. So if you want to only carry a 15-year mortgage, you're looking at 6.40, and that's up 5 basis points from last week as well. Now, here's the projection, and nobody has a crystal ball, but remember this, the 20th is coming pretty fast, right? We're only 5 days out from the inauguration, from Trump and his administration going in. Whether you're a Trump fan, whether you love him, you hate him, that's irrelevant. What matters is that the bonds is what they set the mortgage rates on. So we're going to have to watch the administration and what they do, and if there's any kind of action taken by them in order to cause the affordability of homes to go up. There's a great article right here on the Housing Affordability Index, and it's on the National Association of Realtors website. I'm going to link it in the description for you if you want to read this. This is great. It's great information. And if you've never visited the NAR.realtor website, it's got tons of information for the consumer. It's not just for us who are licensees. It's also for the consumer to go there and to get real information. Everything on there is done by a professional. They have great statistics, they have great research, and they have all kinds of amazing reports for you to enjoy as a consumer. So the Housing Affordability Index is continuing to go down, and that's because of the interest rates being so high. The inventory is going up, and the reason why it's continuing to go up is simply because buyers can't afford the payment. I recently shot a video over here in the community of Farmington Estates, and that video is coming out on Saturday, so keep an eye on it. And I looked at this four bedroom, 2.5 bath home that was listed for rent for $3,800. And then I came home and I ran the numbers. Now they bought it for $585,000, but if it was in really good condition, they could probably get about $650,000 for it. And I calculated it with 20% down. I calculated it also with $250,000 down, or $200,000 down, and the payment was like $4,700 a month. Difference between $4,500 and $4,700 per month. So if you look at that, you say, well, shoot, I can go and rent for $700 a month cheaper. That's $8,400 a year, and you just have to look at how long you're going to be living in the home. If it's a short-term kind of a situation, let's say you're relocating here, or you're buying your first home and it's going to be a short term, you don't know the area, you want to move to a different area, whatever the situation is, if you look at that and you compare it and you say, okay, well, I'm going to be saving $700 a month to rent it, and that's $8,400 in the year. Well, what could you do with that $8,400 over the course of the year? And where could you invest it to make a good rate of return? And it depends. If you're buying your forever home, a lot of people are throwing around the phrase, well, marry the house and date the rate. But you have to be cautious, because there's no promise that these rates are going to go down. I said the same thing last week. I'll continue to say it. There is no promise of what is going to happen. So let's go ahead and let's take another look back at the inventory. I'm going to remove some of the other options here. So anything that's not 55 plus or older, we're going to remove that now. So now there's 1,399. So right off the bat, we cut right around 600, just over 600 properties out of the list. Let's take a quick look at adding a field. I'm going to add in membership fees. I'm going to say membership fees required, no, and we didn't lose a lot right there. We went from $13.99 down to $13.25. All right, let's unclick this and say there's no housing for older persons. Now we have 1,933. So there's a significant amount of properties that are in 55 plus communities that are on the market for sale. We're looking at about 1,325, so there's about 600 of them that are specifically in 55 plus communities, and then the others are not. So that's about it for the quick wrap up and the real estate news drop for today. Remember, it is January 15th, 2025. And if you have any questions, or if you have any concerns, do me a favor, just give me a call or shoot me a text at this number right here, 561-320-4433. I'd be happy to answer them. Until I see you next week on Trend, hope you have the most amazing week, and I hope you're living your best life ever.